It is the number one trending show. It's the Imminent and Done Deals right about here at the United chapter. We're definitely talking about a few football players. Actually, the number is quite big this time round. Loads of links. Who's signed for a club? Who's signed for Manchester United? Who is it just a rumor? And who has strong links? Who is it an eminent deal? We've got loads to talk about. We've got Declan Rice. We've got Mason Mount. We've got Mason Greenwood, Kylian Mbappe, Victor Osimhen, Rasmus Højlund. The number is definitely big. We've also got something to talk about the current goalkeeper of Manchester United, and that's David De Gea. We've also got to talk about Jordan Pickford and also Andre Onana also in there. Then also there is Kim Min Jae. There's Luke Shaw trying to make things right for the club Manchester United, trying to talk some English football players as they have been together for international duty, definitely trying to give us a bit of information right about there. There's quite a lot for the club. Manchester United, Axel Disasi in there. The Glazers, are we going to talk about the sale or what? Anyway, let's dig deep into this. Anyway, haven't said hello, have I? Hello, everyone, and thank you for being part of the United chapter. And make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your host, Abu KALS. Anyway, let's get the party started. Whom should we start with? We've got quite a big number. Whom should we start with? Should we start with Mason Mount, Mason Greenwood, Kylian Mbappe, Rasmus Højlund? Who? Victor Osimhen? Anyway, let's start with, let me see. Let's start with Mason Mount. Okay, for those of you who do not know who Mason Mount is an English professional football player who plays or has been playing actually for some time. He's been playing for the club Chelsea and also the English national team. We remember that this gentleman has had quite big links with the club Manchester United. Manchester United fans are very happy that there is quite a big link between the football player and the club, because Mason Mount is one of the best midfielders actually that you can definitely get on any day, and is proved in the Premier League that he is definitely world class. So Manchester United has had heavy links. United has had quite big links with the superstar, and I will be remembered that Manchester United's management has had a few meetings with Mason Mount about the transfer, about him moving from the club Chelsea yet to Manchester United. We'll be remembered that Mason Mount is not very happy at the club Chelsea, as he's not so sure. He's not very sure about the future of Chelsea. By the way, they've been playing, when you see where Chelsea ended in the Premier League table, and when you see Manchester United, where Manchester United ended in the Premier League table, you can definitely see the reason why he definitely needs to go. And also, the management at Chelsea hasn't been doing quite great, with the current owner of Chelsea, Mr. Todd Bowley, going into the dressing rooms of the club and telling off the football players. That was definitely a no-go zone for football players, and very many football players have reacted, and they are definitely leaving the club Chelsea. And with the fact that Chelsea spent over £600 million over the last spells, definitely within a very short period of time, they are looking at selling some football players. And that's where the club Manchester United looks around and is like, okay, this is time to get some football players from Chelsea. So could we be seeing the likes of Enzo Fernandez coming? Is there any possibility? I do not know with that. But what I'm very sure about is that Chelsea is going to be selling quite a big number of football players, and Manchester United management is watching. It's like, oh, we definitely are going to be taking advantage of the situation, and we're going to be getting quite a lot of football players in there. And starting with Mason Mount. With Mason Mount's deal that is almost done, Manchester United went on with Mason Greenwood's agents and also contacted Chelsea, though the first bid was declined. But Manchester United still has hopes that things will definitely go on quite well for the club, and they will sign Mason Mount. It will be remembered that right about now, Mason Mount is with is he with them? But anyway, Mason Mount is he's among the football players that Manchester United really wants to sign on the must-have list. Mason Mount is definitely in there, and definitely things are going on quite well for Mason Mount, and also not forgetting that things are going on quite well for the club Manchester United. Let me know what you think about Mason Mount's move to the club Manchester United. As me personally, I think it's gonna be a brilliant move, with the likes of sports analysts like David Oinstein and Fabrizio Romano coming and confirming that the links of the two parties are definitely very strong, with Manchester United saying that they are trying to keep this on, are trying to keep moving with the Mason Mount. They will definitely fight for him until the last bit. However, who is interested in Mason Mount apart from Manchester United? That was Liverpool. Liverpool was interested in Mason Mount, but him going to Manchester United to Liverpool, that was definitely something that I did not see. I don't see it happening, because him as a football player, he came out and said he would not like to go to Liverpool. He said, I would prefer going to Manchester United than going to Liverpool. And the rivalry between Manchester United and rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool, definitely that is something that it's quite intense. And him saying such a thing, that putting out his preference and saying he would like to go to Manchester United, not Liverpool, definitely Liverpool had to back off. They definitely had to leave this transfer, because the fans, he would have to take something quite big to convince the fans at Liverpool. But Manchester United are the sole club that are in this transfer. We are not going to be seeing any other club taking Mason Mount. With Mason Mount's interest in Manchester United, things are definitely going on quite well for the club Manchester United. And also, not forgetting that things are also going on very well and absolutely well for the football player Mason Mount. And the two parties are both happy, but let's see if the pricing is definitely right. Mason Mount will be moving to the club Manchester United. You can drop your comment in the comment section, and you let us know what you think about Mason Mount and him joining the club Manchester United. As for me, I see Mason Mount as a perfect fit. I'm not a very big fan of Mason Mount, but I see him as a perfect fit. I see him as a perfect fit of Erik ten Hag's mood of play. He definitely fits in there 100%. I'm so sure about that. And that's why Erik ten Hag definitely wants him. We've got Rasmus Højlund. We've got Mason Greenwood. Let's talk about Rasmus Højlund. So, Rasmus Højlund, who is a very wonderful football player, is a Dutch professional football player, and he's been playing quite well for some time. And the fact that he's still young, definitely that shows you how good he is, a young football player. Still young and talented, 20 years of age. You can definitely sign him for quite a big amount of money, but you're very sure that he's going to perform. But he's still got quite big statistics on him. But Rasmus Højlund definitely is one of the best that any club can have. You'll remember that Rasmus Højlund is a Danish professional football player who plays as a forward for Serie A club Atalanta and also the Denmark national team. He's been playing quite well for some time, despite the fact that he is still young, 20 years of age. He's making grounds everywhere with quite a number of clubs interested in Rasmus Højlund. Newcastle United is one of the clubs that has been interested in Rasmus Højlund, but Newcastle United is not so much into this transfer. This leaves Manchester United definitely in there as the sole club that is after Rasmus Højlund. Anyway, let's see. I think Rasmus Højlund's move is at this point in time, we can say it's an imminent move because heavy links are in there. Anyway, let's talk about the football player also, the other football player, and that is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, very dangerous man. Victor Osimhen, Nigerian football player. For those of you who've watched Victor Osimhen play, definitely you have definitely known that he is a perfect magician. So you'll be remember that there was a game between Nigeria and Sierra Leone that ended 3-2 in favor of Nigeria. But this wouldn't have happened if Osimhen, Victor Osimhen was not part of the club, of the team. Victor Osimhen is a very good football player and has been playing quite well for some time. And right about now, when he's been at Napoli, he's played quite well at Napoli and also on the national team. At Napoli, he managed to score a total of 31 goals across all competitions for Napoli the last season. Definitely that shows you how a good football player definitely is. If you can get such a good football player in the club Manchester United, then definitely that is a sorted thing. Manchester United is looking at strikers. Manchester United is looking at having a striker, top striker. Actually, the preference of Manchester United right about now could be with David De Gea. David De Gea, goalkeeping section with David De Gea. It's not yet decided just as yet. With David De Gea saying, "Oh, I might be leaving. I'm not signing the contract. I'm signing the contract." He's just in there. He's not decided, and that's why the likes of Onana, Andre Onana, who is an Inter Milan football player, goalkeeper, and has been playing quite well for some time also. Keeping the goals safe for Inter Milan. He's been linked to the club Manchester United because of David De Gea's uncertainty. And also Jordan Pickford has also been linked to Manchester United. Heavy links in there. But right about now, we're talking about Victor Osimhen, who is definitely needed as a striker. And as I was telling you, there is a line that is definitely needed. Manchester United needs a defensive midfielder. I don't know why Manchester United is interested in a defensive midfielder. They've got quite a number, haven't they? Possibly they might be selling some football players. With some reports coming in that big names are going to be leaving the club Manchester United. Possibly we can build it up from there. But also we need to understand the fact that Manchester United needs a goalkeeper, defensive midfielder, and a striker, top striker. That definitely shows you how the club is really, and also a midfielder, attacking midfielder. Definitely the spine of the club, definitely all of it is looking at, the club is looking at getting rid of the spine of the club and building another spine. And putting in consideration that Victor Osimhen is a top goal scoring machine. You can see recently, just when Sierra Leone played Nigeria, Victor Osimhen scored twice just recently, and that's when we talk about current form, that's what we mean. Current form. He's already scored 2 goals. He scored 2 goals out of the 3 goals that were scored by Nigeria, and definitely that has been a great thing. With the fact that Erik ten Hag is very much aware about Victor Osimhen and his endeavors and his possible move to the club of Manchester United. He's looking at getting a wonderful striker like him, and how much can he definitely bring on table? How much can he bring on table? What is he capable of bringing on table? It will be a very good thing if Manchester United can sign this young talent, this football player. Still young, 24 years, definitely. 24 years, Manchester United can buy him for maybe another 6 years and he will still be productive. I mean, look at Harry Kane. He's an old man, and right about now he's still scoring goals. When you're a top striker, you don't need to do quite a lot. You can play for some time. Anyway, let's wait and see how all this transpires. But Manchester United is already in talks for this football player, Victor Osimhen, who is a Nigerian professional football player and plays as a striker for Serie A club Napoli and the Nigeria national team. He's considered one of the best strikers in the world, and he is well known for his elite finishing, pace, strength, and athleticism. And definitely that's why he is an exceptional football player. Anyway, let's get the party going again. And that was Victor Osimhen. Whom should we go with? Should we go with Kylian Mbappe or we should go with Mason Greenwood? Let's get going with Kylian Mbappe. Then after Kylian Mbappe, we can go with the Mason Mount. Sorry, we've already talked about Mason Mount. We'll be going to Mason Greenwood. Anyway, Kylian Mbappe is a hot target, hot cake. Right about now as we speak, everybody knows who Kylian Mbappe is. Kylian Mbappe, hot cake. And the fact that Kylian Mbappe is a French professional football player and has been playing for Paris Saint-Germain for some time. He's now looking at a move away from the club. And Kylian Mbappe, who is a good and wonderful football player and has been playing very well of recent times, the fact that he's come out and said he's no longer interested in signing a new contract with the club, Paris Saint-Germain, that definitely leaves loads of clubs with a lot of interest in him. And not forgetting that Manchester United has already had a plan in place. There is a concrete plan of signing Kylian Mbappe in place. Even though Kylian Mbappe came out and said that he is very happy at Paris Saint-Germain, the fact that Kylian Mbappe is not willing to sign a new contract, he would be leaving the club Paris Saint-Germain as a free agent, and that's not what Paris Saint-Germain is looking for. Paris Saint-Germain is definitely looking at a point, they're looking at a saga where they are losing quite a lot of money if he goes as a free agent, unless they can talk him through. And you don't know what happens within that period of time. But you can't have a football player, a club like Paris Saint-Germain that definitely they're up to making quite a bit of money, a lot of money. You can definitely tell that they're not going to allow this to happen. They're not going to allow Kylian Mbappe to move as a free agent. And right about now, Manchester United is very aware about the situation. Manchester United knows quite well that Kylian Mbappe could be up for a move. And anytime from now, the club Paris Saint-Germain is going to put Kylian Mbappe on sale on the transfer market, because what we know, Kylian Mbappe will be costing quite a lot of money to the club. If they definitely do not sell him, then they will be losing out on quite a lot of money. Still, you can let us know what you think about Kylian Mbappe and him moving to the club Manchester United. Do you think it's the best of things for the club Manchester United? Or you definitely think that Manchester United should be considering a move away from Kylian Mbappe? I personally, I would have no problem bringing Kylian Mbappe because he's a world class. He's a class football player. I mean, who would not love Kylian Mbappe? Being honest, who would not love Kylian Mbappe in their squad? And as I said before, you need a football player that matches. Manchester United needs a football player that matches the statistics of the Premier League football players. You know, you cannot buy a football player anyway like Rasmus Højlund, who is good, but scores something like nine goals. He's good, still talented, and wow. But Kylian Mbappe has proved to the world that he can do it and still has it, and he can still do it for over a long period of time. He's scored a number of goals over seasons and seasons. So there is nothing new to Kylian Mbappe. When it comes to Manchester United and when it comes to the Premier League, I'm very sure that Kylian Mbappe will definitely destroy the records of the Premier League. There will be quite a lot of stuff to do for him at the Premier League. But I know and I'm positive that he will be scoring 30 plus goals every other season, 30 plus goals. And that's what the club Manchester United is looking for. I mean, Manchester United is looking for a football player like him. And the fact that he could be up for sale, and the fact that Ericsson had commented on this and said they are aware about Kylian Mbappe's move away from Paris Saint-Germain, interested move away from Paris Saint-Germain. Though it could not be the summer transfer window as they seem to say. But to me, I think it could be the summer transfer window because realistically, I don't see Paris Saint-Germain letting go Kylian Mbappe as a free agent. I don't know of any clubs that would do such a mistake. Unless Kylian Mbappe insists, but even if he insists, he has no say in this because Kylian Mbappe, getting Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe's market value is definitely very high. It must be very high. And I don't think the club, PSG, I don't think the club PSG would definitely be in to lose quite a big amount of money like this, because what I'm getting right about here, Kylian Mbappe is valued at $203 million dollars. That's dollars. That I've got it in dollars right about here. So Kylian Mbappe valued at $203 million. I don't think there is any club that could be willing to lose that amount of money. I call it lose because it's quite a lot of money. It's quite big money. It's quite a lot of money, you know. And I don't think $203 million is any little for a club like Paris Saint-Germain. It's something that's quite a lot. I don't know what's definitely taking place, but I think 203 million really in there is quite a lot. So the fact that this saga is a bit tricky for the club Manchester United, and not actually Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain. It's a little bit tricky for Paris Saint-Germain. I think Manchester United should take advantage, and they're already trying to do it. They're trying to make sure things go on quite well for them. And the fact that things have been going on quite well for both parties, it definitely leaves Manchester United as the sole club that could definitely be having him. But not only the sole club, Real Madrid also came out and said they could be having Kylian Mbappe. So I think there could be a bit of a twist between Manchester United, a bit of a bidding war between Real Madrid and Manchester United for the football player Kylian Mbappe. So let's wait and see how all this definitely goes. But if you were going to a bidding war, do you think Real Madrid would beat Manchester United, or you think Manchester United would beat Real Madrid? Anyway, let's get the party going again. Now, let's get to the final man of the transfers. And right about now, we are digging into the main man, and that's none other than Mason Greenwood. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being part of the United chapter. And make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on the Mason Greenwood saga. So let us get the party started. Mason Greenwood, again, let's get it going. Anyway, Mason Greenwood. So for some time, Mason Greenwood, who's been a football player at the club Manchester United, he has had quite a big he's had quite big problems with the club Manchester United, and also a little bit with the law. He's had quite big problems with the law, and him being away for some time, definitely that shows you that things have not been going all quite well with the club Manchester United. The fact that he is a very wonderful striker, and Manchester United has been lying down when it comes to the striking section, that definitely shows you how Manchester United has lost out on the football player Mason Greenwood. He's been away for something like 17 months and 3 days, something like that. So being away for 17 months, not being able to play for the club Manchester United, that definitely shows you that things have definitely been a mess at Manchester United. However, right about now, we've got great news coming in. If you're a Greenwood football fanatic, definitely we've got great news coming in. As you already know, that Manchester United came out and said they are not letting go of Mason Greenwood. Before, Mason Greenwood definitely was linked to an exit of the club. He would be remember that there was a possibility of Mason Greenwood being loaned after his return. And just because the current manager of Manchester United was not so sure, and also the technical staff of Manchester United were not so sure about the current form of this football player. But by the look of things, again, when this football player, when Mason Greenwood had his personal training, it comes out that Mason Greenwood is definitely a star. He is a star again. He's been in personal training. He's been training every day. And right about now, after the manager seeing how good he is, the manager changes his decision and he says, we are retaining Mason Greenwood. He's not going off on a loan. He's going to be starting. He's going to be playing for the club, Manchester United. So there is a big possibility that we are definitely going to be seeing Mason Greenwood playing for the club, Manchester United, in the next season. Big possibility, and I think definitely that will be great. That's all I had for you today. Please make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell such do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the Imminent and Done Deals at the United chapter with me, your host, Abu KALS. I tell thank you and goodbye for now. Talking about Declan Rice now, let's talk about Declan Rice. Hope you remember that Declan Rice is a West Ham football player who also plays for England, and a lot is definitely has happened and a lot has been said about Declan Rice and him joining the club Manchester United. Hope you remember that Declan Rice has been linked to quite a number of football clubs, including Chelsea and Arsenal, plus Bayern Munich. But the fact is that Bayern Munich is definitely out of the picture. Chelsea are also out of the picture. It is now between Manchester United, actually three teams. Manchester City was also in this transfer, but by the look of things, Manchester City is just observing what's going on. It's now between Arsenal and Manchester United. Let us wait and see where this all goes. But what happened in the training for England, Luke Shaw was trying to make sure he makes things right between Manchester United and Declan Rice, plus even Harry Kane. There was also something about Harry Kane. Luke Shaw saying that he's trying to say a few things to them, tell them how things are at the club Manchester United, making the club look good to them, so that possibly they can definitely join the club Manchester United. Let's hope Declan Rice ends up at the club Manchester United.